Hey guys, this is Hormuka with a really quick Japanese line preview from the World of Tanks patch 8.10. And Reynolds Otsu is the tier 1 version. It's slow, which is weird. This is like the odd one in the bunch. It has bad armor, except you can maybe something bounce from the hull, but other than that, yeah. And yeah, that's it. Bad armor, decent gun, great gun depression, slow this time around, and the tumor up top. Yeah, you will go through this like in a battle or two. And I will skip right to the tier 5, the Chinukai, which some of you may have. And if you have this tank, you basically know how all of these work. All of these, without exception, work like this. Even though there are like two lines, the light and the medium, they have all the same weapons. And they have all the same bad armor. Well, the mediums have slightly better bad armor, but all of them work like Chinukai you may already have. And the Chinu, the difference is the Chinukai has slightly better frontal turret armor, and it's slower and sluggish because it has weaker engine. That's like the only difference. I'm not sure why they look different, the guns, because they are the same guns. But tier 6 is the same story, and this is the last one of the same story with the weak armor, even though like 75mm, like, come on guys, it's tier 6, everything can pen you, and you can't even like angle it because there is this piece of crap on it, even on the turret, so everyone will just pan you through this. And again, as I said, good rate of fire, good penetration, low damage, accuracy is pretty decent, and decent aiming time. This is the story of all of these guns. Tier 7 is the first, kinda interesting. Again, bad armor, of course, pretty good speed, again. The tumor up top, again, but this time around you can go to an autoloader. I think this is the first tier 7 autoloader in the game. And it is also a good autoloader, because this tank can mount an autoloader and normal gun. It can fit the gun rammer. So this actually pushes down the time of the complete loading, and I don't think the time of the one shell loading. But anyway, 3 shells in the magazine, 1 second between them, so in 2 seconds you can fire all of them and then pull back. Again, it has low damage, so it will be all in all 390, which is the baseline for the Russian 122mm guns. But you can do it pretty quickly in this, and with lower penetration than them, but you can spread them around as well, and all in all, pretty interesting. I think you should really, if you are free XPing through all of them, you should consider playing this tank around at least a little bit. But again, like the bad armor, and it's huge as well. Like many of these are just freaking big and huge, but they have also huge hit points pool. Now we are getting to something more interesting, tier 8, which is the STA-1. I will finally start calling them by names. This is based on some American tank, I'm not sure which one, but you can tell. It looks almost like the T-28 prototype with enclosed turret, and it can rotate the gun all the way around. Again, bad armor. This is by the way the theme of these Americanish Japanese tanks. They just basically strip the armor of them to make them faster. The gun is pretty good for tier 8. So even the damage goes up, which is really interesting. All of these were low damage. This one is pretty decent, and rate of fire stays. This is great. This is fantastic gun. You can look at it yourself. Accuracy, aiming time, penetration, damage, rate of everything is there. Fantastic gun on a pretty weak hull. So except for the gun monolet, you can penetrate it everywhere basically, and pretty speedy tank with good view range and good gun traverse. Yeah, the same basically can be said about the Type 61, which is again, this one is based off of a Patton chassis, and again they just lowered the hull armor. I think it has the exact same, no, not exact same, it's slightly higher, the armor. You can even tell it's like pathetic, like I'm not sure why this is like welded like this on top. Maybe it's because they ripped out the stronger plate and welded this in instead to make it weaker. But again, fantastic gun. This is actually the gun you will get on the tier 10, but it just fires a little bit slower with excellent penetration at tier 9. Fantastic damage for Japanese tanks. Like from up here it goes really up and good accuracy and good aiming time. Good gun, again decent gun onlet, so you can bounce off something off of this, but why shoot at this? Because all of this is a weak spot, especially this R2D2 you will find up here. Okay, this one is actually pretty decent, and I really like playing this tank, but you just have to, you can't rush up front like in many other mediums. You just can't. You have to take your time and go from the second line and to use this excellent gun. And this is the star of the show, the STB-1, which is fantastic, and you can tell it looks completely different because I think it's the newest tank actually in the game. It has been developed in 1970s, so it's well bit after the World War II, even like the other wars. Like, yeah, this is a pretty modern tank. You can even tell it looks really modern, and I'm not sure. I was kind of confused by the description. Instead of a new tank, the first two prototypes. I think it's actually, well, Wikipedia states that this is actually in use up until now. So it's a pretty good tank. I don't think it was just a prototype, because it actually has been changed a lot around. And why am I talking about this so much? Because this is my most favorite tank in the game right now. Yes, because, well, it has some armor. At first, pretty well angled as well, even the lower plate is well angled. The turret has a fantastic shape, and actually this up front it's much more than 132mm. I have bounced shots you wouldn't believe off of the gun manlet, so this one is like 200, maybe something in the line of the Russians basically. And the shape, there is like not a single flat piece of the turret, but from what I've heard, the back part is it's easier to pan. So if you are shooting from the side, well, shoot to the hull, because that's pathetic, 35mm. Even this part, I don't think it's spaced armor. Well, I was panned through this really easily, so, but it doesn't matter. Like from the side, shoot to this from back of the turret, and the whole hull is a huge weak spot as well. But from the front you can bounce something, but don't just show too much of your side. You can't really side scrape very well in this, because like this will get overmatched very easily with some of the guns. So yeah. But other than that, the tank is fast, even faster than all the others. This just feels so fast and nimble, just fantastic. The traverse speed is excellent. You can circle anything. The turret's traverse speed is great as well. The rate of fire on this gun, it's basically the tier 9 gun, the same with better rate of fire, better aiming time, and sadly the same accuracy, which is like the only downside of this tank. Yeah, because other than that, it's just fantastic. It's fantastic. You can't keep up with the Leopard tanks. That would be overpowered, because it would mean you have a tank with actual armor and fantastic speed like the Leopard, but it still has pretty freaking good speed, much better than the 430 of the Russians, the new one. So yeah, as you can tell, this is my favorite tank from this line. It's not because it's tier 10. It's just so vastly different than all of these. I just want it, and that's why I will grind through all of these. This is like, there's like no difference. You will feel like you are not even progressing through the tech tree. So these are the Japanese tanks introduced in the World of Tanks patch 8.10. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you like this really quick, like I'm not spending unnecessary time explaining the same stuff all over again. And yeah, until next time, bye bye.